And hello, beautiful people. We are live. So let me just throw down my. Um, so basically, just going to hang out for a few minutes, see if people show up, um, ask a few questions, and if pretty much no one here, no one is doing anything, I'm going to start doing some book editing about anything. And you can also send questions to. Whoop, anything at gmail.com. There we go. Alrighty, so just gonna hang here for a bit. I'm currently eating dinner. More than happy to answer questions. And we'll see what happens. So currently I am eating leftover beef and pasta in sort of an onion sauce. Quite nice. Just check up there. Okay. So waited a few seconds, see if anyone shows, and then I'll just jump to book editing. Alrighty. I currently have this my laptop up on a box because it gets a much better camera angle. But if I'm going to edit, I'm going to need to type. So down it comes. Alrighty. So let me. Nothing in particular. Cross. And nice cut mink. There we go. It goes slow. So at this point, I'm up to probably what is my final draft of the Nice Card Mean Card book. It's been going pretty well, and I stumbled onto a much better way of editing than I had previously done before, which is to basically read things aloud and see how it is sounding when it's being read aloud. And I'm just trying to get everything side by side. Let's move that over there. And I wonder, can I get. All right. So it's quite a different experience reading things aloud. And in part, I started doing it because I am planning to do this as an Audible book, so a book on tape. Um, So obviously it was going to need to be read aloud at some point. So it's very interesting that how sometimes when you write something, it makes perfectly logical sense, perfectly understandable, and then when you read it aloud, it sounds very clunky. So, and then once I've discovered once you start editing it so it's not quite so clunky, then it becomes even more readable. So it's a very nice technique. So I figured out this about halfway through my seventh draft. So I've done almost like the second half of the book. So I'm actually coming back to the beginning. And at this point, I'm going to start doing the introduction. So here we go. So you're too nice and it's starting to wreck your life. In theory, being nice should make people like, respect, and value you. It should make everything easier and peaceful. Easier and more peaceful. Let's do more peaceful. So it should make everything easier and more peaceful. Except you're last in line for everything. While you help everyone else, they're all a little bit too busy to help you. While you help everyone else, they're all a little bit. They're all a little too. Yeah, I didn't say little bit too busy to help you. Your frenemy at work gets the promotion, even though you do a better job. You're the great friend, but someone else gets the girl. You always hang out with your best girlfriend and do what she wants. But when you suggest something to do, you end up going by yourself. It's a little long. You always hang out with your best girlfriend and do what she wants all the time. And you see this, but if you that's not really need to be capital. Unfortunately, I can't actually. I'm not quite sure how I do the screen share sort of thing at the moment. So I'm basically just editing the Word document. You always hang out with your best girlfriend and do what she wants all the time. But if you suggest something to do, you end up going by yourself. When they're sick, you bring them chicken soup. When you're sick, you make them dinner and a bowl of soup for you. You do all the work in a relationship, but your partner always has a complaint about how unhappy they are. Hello, person watching. More than happy to answer questions. Ask me anything. Otherwise, I'm just basically doing a sort of a read aloud edit of the book that I'm working on, and I'm looking at the introduction. So, ask a question, more than happy to answer it. And I wish maybe I can cross that over this way. Maybe that's going to be a better way to do it. I want to be able to see the chat as all right. I'm just messing with the windows on my laptop here. Okay. So when they're sick, you bring them chicken soup. When you're sick, you make them dinner and a bowl of soup for you. You do all the work in your relationship, but your partner always has a complaint about how unhappy they are. So let's do a quick quiz. I don't say so. Let's do a quick quiz to see how much you're struggling with this. Just yes or no answers. Number one, everyone tells you to stop being too nice. Number two, when someone says you're a bad person or being mean, you feel terrible. Number three, you're always the last to know when someone is taking advantage of you. Yeah, that was me for a long time. Number four, you aren't good at being angry. It's an uncomfortable emotion for you. Number five, when your partner says no to someone else for you, it's a huge relief. Number six, you're doing a lot of tasks and chores other people should be doing and not getting credit. You're doing a lot of tasks and chores other people should be doing and not getting credit. Seven, you figure out the perfect comeback line days or weeks after arguments. Number eight, when you say no, you dread the reaction of the other the other person. Number 9, you give up what you want to keep the peace. And number 10, you're always anxious. If you scored 5 or more of those as a yes, then you need this book. You're struggling with being too nice. You need a new strategy. So here's what this book is about. Number 1, explaining the reasons why you chose the too nice strategy. Number 2, giving you a new strategy for standing up for yourself. Number 3, teaching you how to use anger as your personal boundary warning system without becoming passive aggressive or a rage monster. That's a little clunky. Teaching you how to use anger as your personal boundary warning system. That is clunky. Teaching you how to use. Teaching you. Teaching you. Teaching you to use anger. No, teaching you to use anger as your personal boundary. No, I don't like personal boundary warning system. I don't need teaching, just using anger as warning system. Your boundaries are crossed. Using anger, using anger, using anger as not using, paying attention, not using, paying attention to anger. You better know when your boundaries. That's much better. Paying attention to anger to better know when your boundaries are crossed without becoming passive aggressive or a rage monster. And the reason I'm saying paying attention to anger is that the people that this book is aimed at and who are reading it probably feel uncomfortable with anger at all. So when I'm saying you're going to use anger or it's going to become part of you in some way, they're uncomfortable with that. So I have to try and find a way to soften it. Because using anger is important, but if they can just pay attention to it, it's a little bit easier. So paying attention to anger to better know when your boundaries are crossed without becoming passive aggressive or a rage monster. Mm-hmm. Mm. I'm doing a read aloud. Okay, showing you how to spot people planning to take advantage of you. Knowing how to trust and forgive without getting suckered again. Showing you the real secret of knowing who to invite into your life and who to keep out. Hopefully you can hear this. Okay, let's get started. Chapter 1, being nice doesn't make people like you. Let's talk about the biggest misconception nice people have about being nice. This goes to the heart of why you're following the wrong strategy. If you're too nice, you believe if you are nice to other people, it's going to make people like you. Then because people like you, they will be nice back to you. Then a wonderful circle of mutual niceness will unfold and everything will be peaceful and happy. In fairness, it is mostly true when you're nice to them, they're nice back. This means you get a lot of positive feedback that being nice does mean other people does mean. I'm using mean twice. This means you get a lot of positive feedback that being nice this means you get a lot of positive feedback that being nice does re- does result in other people being nice to you. This means a lot of positive feedback that being nice does result in other people being nice to you. The easily spotted flaw is that it's only mostly true. Not everyone is nice, or not everyone will be nice back. Whoop. Even if you're deep into being too nice, you're aware some people aren't wonderfully nice. Even if you're deep into being too nice, you're aware some people seem naturally unpleasant. Even if you're deep into being too nice, you're aware some people seem naturally unpleasant. Anyways, and then some people take away unpleasant. Even if you're deep into being too nice, you're aware some people seem naturally unpleasant. Some people try and take advantage of you, and some are just nasty. The easily suggested solution is to just stop being too nice to everyone, and while it makes sense, the easily suggested solution is to just stop being too nice to everyone, and while it makes sense, you're emotionally tangled up in being too nice. The easily suggested solution is to just stop being too nice to everyone, which makes rational sense, but you're emotionally and can't stop. Okay. Can't stop yourself. The easily suggested solution is to just stop being too nice. I need to everyone. The easily suggested solution is to just stop being too nice, which makes rational sense, but you're emotionally hooked and can't stop yourself. I mean, if it was as simple as do as everyone suggests, you have already done it, and I could stop the book right here. I mean, if it was as simple to do, if it was as simple to do as just stopping, if it was simple to do as just stopping, you would have already done it, and I could stop the book right here. What you're missing is that your thoughts and feelings tend to follow your actions. When you're being nice to somebody else, you're being nice through your actions. Because your actions are being nice and your feelings follow your actions, you start liking them. The more you are nice to them, the more you become attached to them. If they haven't done any nice actions in return, though, then their feelings about you don't change. Their lack of nice actions results in a lack of positive feelings about you. This is a fact. This effect is why you intellectually understand you should stop being too nice, but you get in an emotional tangle and can't shake it off. And let's take out intellectually. This effect is why you understand you should stop being too nice, but you get into an emotional tangle, but are emotionally tangled and can't shake it off. This effect is why you understand, is why, no. This effect is why you know you should stop being too nice. And take out the emotional tangle. This one is all about simplifying the sentence. This effect is why you know you should stop being too nice, but can't shake it off. Attachments to others are powerful influences, and without a determined effort to resist them, emotions beat thoughts. Oh, that's a good line. I'm going to italics that. God, this is really nice. Because when I did the roast beef, and we did onion dip, and used the onion dip as the basis of the sauce. Very, very nice. Anyway, this effect is why you know you should stop being too nice, but can't shake it off. Attachments to others are powerful influences, and without a determined effort to resist them, emotions beat thoughts. The other person can do nothing for you and feel nothing for you, while you are strongly attached by being endlessly nice to them. You've seen this effect happening before. Just think of any child with a favorite toy. My youngest daughter has a stuffed yellow bear that she's had since she was 1 year old. Since she was 1 year old. Since she was, I don't need to say one, a year old. Youngest daughter has a stuffed yellow bear that she's had since she was a year old. It's called the exciting name of Yellow Bear. The truth is, Yellow Bear has never done anything nice to my daughter, but she's taken care of it, loved it, cuddled it, and taken it everywhere. And she feels an enormous attachment to Yellow Bear. But Yellow Bear doesn't care about my daughter. He just sits there. Have you noticed that in your relationships? You have a huge attachment to your partner, but it's only your thoughts and feelings sustaining the relationship. You care about them and are constantly nice, but they aren't doing much in return. Some days you wonder if they care about you at all. Is your partner your Yellow Bear? If you're too nice, you often get into relationships where you give your love, time, and energy to people who don't reciprocate them. You start assuming they feel for you as strongly as you feel for them. The truth is, they may not. Your head tunes with a concern about the state of the relationship, but they hardly think of it at all. I've seen this with guys in sexless marriages. They fall all over themselves to try and get their wife to connect with them more. They do over the top stunts, displaying their interest in her. They pursue her endlessly with no expense spared, trying to create a spark of connection. Man, that's a long sentence. They do over now. They do over the top stunts displaying their interest in her. They pursue her endlessly with no expense spared, trying to create a spark of connection. All right. You can either have over the top or no expense spared. They do over the top stunts. They do over the top stunts pursuing her. Yeah, They do over the top stunts pursuing. Whoops, I want to talk out here. Pursuing here with no expense spared. They do over the top stunts pursuing here. They endlessly, now you took away the endlessly, they endlessly do over the top stunts pursuing here, trying to create the spark of attraction, trying to create a spark of connection. They do all these things trying to be nice to get her to love them back. The guys going overboard are nice, deep in the emotional tunnel vision on their wives. You would think that they would get sick of doing all these nice things and quit. Instead, they get more attached, more hooked in, even as they get less and less interest from her. It's the same with the good wife or girlfriend, dutifully cleaning up all the messes behind your partner and getting zero thanks for it. The kids, the bills, the chores, the shopping, the dinner, Christmas decorations, and the calls from his mother. With all that work to make him want her, it should be the apple of his eye. Instead, he's distracted. So once again, when you're nice to somebody else, it makes you like them. It makes you feel connected to them. When they don't do anything nice back, it doesn't make them care about you any more than they would care about anybody else. The additional problem is when you constantly do things for someone else, but they don't have to do anything for you, they slowly start losing respect for you. Once they start losing respect for you, they have even less interest in doing anything nice for you. Here are a few reasons why, and if any of these reasons goes on long enough, it can turn into real contempt. Reason one, they start thinking you're being foolish by overgiving and just allowing them to take. Reason two, by role-playing their servant, you're framing them as having a higher status than you. They start feeling entitled to your service, and serving you in return would be odd. By role-playing their servant, you're framing them as having a higher status as you. By role-playing their servant, you're framing them as having a higher status than you. Then they start feeling entitled to your service, then they start feeling entitled to your service, making serving you in return odd. Somewhat odd. Feel odd. They start feeling entitled. You're role-playing their servant, you're framing them as having a higher status than you. Then they start feeling entitled to your service, making serving you in return feel odd. Reason three, they've started to feel obligated to be nice back to you, and while they feel bad about it, they just don't want to do anything for you. Which means every time you do something nice for them, their obligation grows and they feel even worse about you. And reason four, they don't actually enjoy whatever it is you're doing for them. Which can be true. I don't know if you've ever had that. When someone keeps doing this over-the-top thing, trying to please you, and you just have no interest in whatever it is they're doing. It's really annoying. This is why people tell you to stop trying so hard in relationships. You can be well-intentioned and generally trying hard to be pleasing and nice, and that in and of itself is what's making everything worse. Sometimes the first thing you have to do to improve a relationship is ease up on trying to be nice to them. And that was missing. Chapter 2, why being nice is an addictive strategy. Being nice works for 98% of all the interactions you're going to have day to day. If you get on a bus and are pleasant to the driver and other passengers, you'll have a pleasant bus ride. But if you get on the bus, flip the driver off, and act like an obnoxious jerk, your ride may turn unpleasant. Not that you'd ever think about being rude on a bus, because there's sort of an in public nice autopilot we all like to be on. Hmm. Which, of course, is one reason everyone tells you to be nice. Okay. So your friends tell you to be nice. Growing up, your parents told you to be nice. Your teachers at school told you to be nice. Every religious group tells their believers to be nice, and your boss tells you to be nice. Wandering around saying hello and being nice on autopilot is a completely successful strategy 98% of the time. You can use the too nice strategy 98%. And I'm keep saying 98%. Wandering around saying hello and being nice on autopilot is a completely successful strategy 98% of the time. Keep saying 98%. You can use the too nice strategy 98% of the time and nothing. Oh, take it all out. Two sentences into one sentence. Okay, wandering about saying hello and being nice on autopilot is a completely successful strategy 98% of the time, as nothing bad will happen to you. As nothing. Wandering around saying hello and I don't need to say hello. Wandering around, need to say hello. Wandering around being nice on autopilot is a completely successful strategy 90% of the time, as nothing bad will happen to you. Much smoother. You can be nice and everyone will be nice back. I don't need to you. Everyone will be nice back to you. You can be nice and everyone will be nice back. You go all day without conflict or difficulty. There's just one little catch, and nearly all your interactions, the other person doesn't really need or want anything from you other than to get through that interaction smoothly. When you're buying coffee, the barista is nice to you and you're nice to them because all you want is coffee and all they want is the money for the coffee. That's it. There's nothing gained by a fantastic relationship with your bus driver. So your bus driver checks your ticket and you take your seat. That's it. You wave to your mail carrier, they nod and reply. They hand you the mail and walk on their route. That's it. These are all perfectly fine and functional interactions. We all get through dozens of those interactions every day on our nice autopilot. But when you get into deeper relationships, people start needing, scrolling up, when you get into deeper relationships, people start needing more from you. There are things you want from them. There are things you can both win or lose from your relationship. So when I said being nice worked 98% of the time, the other 2% all happens in your significant family, work, or romantic relationships. This may explain why you get on great with bus drivers, mail carriers, and the people that serve you coffee, while your important relationships run into trouble. Here's where the addictive part comes in. If you're running the too nice strategy, you're always being nice. But for the 2% of the interactions when you really need something, when. But of the 2% of the interactions when you really need or want something, it only sometimes works. You're always nice and it sometimes works, which means you're getting this. Which means you're getting a randomized reward for having been nice. There's a ton of science on why randomized rewards are highly addictive. Lots of studies of rats in cages pushing levers for food. There's a ton of science why randomized rewards are highly addictive. Lots of studies of rats in cages pushing levers for food pellets. If every time the rat pushes a lever, they get a food pellet, they only do when they're hungry. But if the levers hardly ever pay out a food pellet, they give up trying and sit in the corner of their cage and shed rat tears. I know. If the levers hardly ever pay out a food pellet, they give up trying and sit in the corner of their cage in defeat. Rat depression. If the levers hardly ever pay out a food pellet, they give up trying and sit in the corner of their cage in rat depression. But the levers sometimes pay out food pellets. The rats will spend hours pushing on the levers trying to stockpile the pellets. In case you think we're better than rats, this is the same reason people play one-armed bandits at casinos. They pull the lever and sometimes the machine pays out. It's the same reason video games with loot boxes are compulsive, because when you play the game and win a box, you sometimes get the prize you want. If being too nice in our relationships sometimes gives us what we want, we're getting a randomized reward of positive attention. We're getting randomized rewards of love, intimacy, sex. We're getting randomized rewards of love, intimacy, acceptance, sex, kindness, validation, affection, all the things that we want the most. When you get a randomized reward for the thing you want the most, it's a double whammy. It's not just getting a payout, it's like getting the jackpot on a poker machine. It's not a loot box playing out 20 meaningless shards, it's bursting open in gold and yellow to the fanfare of legendary. Heroes of the Storm referenced. Our need to be loved and desired can feel like our personal kryptonite. When being too nice sometimes gets you loved and desired, it feels like we must always keep trying. When being too nice sometimes gets you loved and desired, it feels like we must always keep trying. We all want a stockpile of feeling loved and desired. It's a small wonder that being too nice is addictive. When we don't get what we want from relationships, we try harder and harder to be nice because that's the only strategy we were taught. Some of you tolerate harsh treatment because you're addicted to your relationship sometimes paying off. You worry if you stand up for yourself, the relationship will end and you won't even have a chance at sometimes. You've known for a long time you have to stop being too nice, but there's a craving and a fear you can't fully shake. You're trapped in an emotional casino, pulling endlessly on the lever of nice, hoping for payouts of love, sex, and affection. But the game is rigged, and the machines only pay out 98% of what they take in. So let's get out of this place, and let me teach you how to play some cards. So that is the introduction. So the introduction is it, chapter 1, chapter 2. Is chapter 1 the introduction? No, that was the introduction, chapter 1, chapter 2. So that's the introductory section, and then I get into the cards. All right, let me just see if anyone has happened to send me email. Oh. Go email. I'm not expecting it. Nope. Okay. And that would show up on my phone, which is over here. Okay. I got about one more chapter of editing to get through, I think, and then oh no, that's pretty short, this one. That is just constant talking. Here we go. So chapter 3. So now we're into the part where I define the nice card and define the mean card. Chapter 3, defining the cards. I just said that. It's time to define the nice card and the mean card. The nice card and mean card divide all your interactions with others into an agreeable response or a disagreeable response. Usually it's some variant on saying a yes or a no to the other person. So here are some examples of nice cards. Yes, I will feed your cat while you're on vacation. Yes, you can have $20. Yes, I do want to go on a date with you. Yes, I will work that shift. Yes, I will take on that assignment. Yes, I'll cook dinner. Yes, I'm going to love you. Yes, I'll have sex with you. Yes, I'll move in with you. Yes, I will marry you. Here are some examples of mean cards. No, you can't have $20. No, you can't have sex with me. No, I don't want to buy the Girl Scout cookies. No, I don't want that assignment. No, you can't do that. No, you can't cheat on me. No, you can't stay up past your bedtime. No, I don't want to get married to you. No, I don't want to pay for another vacation. It sounds personal, doesn't it? It's actually kind of funny to me that that comes after the no, I don't want to get married to you. Like paying for another vacation is even more obnoxious than getting married. All those examples of nice cards and mean cards are positive. All the nice cards were agreeable from a positive and content mindset. All the mean cards were disagreeable, but they were coming from a positive and protective mindset. These are the nice cards and mean cards you should be playing. The trouble is, there are nice cards that are negative. You can play nice cards and be agreeable, but do it from, do I gotta put, but do it from a place of fear, weakness, or dependency. So these are things like, yes, I'll do your work for you. Yes, I'll stay up late and clean up your mess. Yes, I promise not to report you. Yes, you can borrow my car even though I need it. Yes, you can have sex with me even though I don't want to. Yes, you can insult me to my face. Yes, you can tell me I'm a bad person who doesn't deserve you. There are also mean cards that are negative. You can play mean cards and be disagreeable by being aggressive, greedy, or just straight up nasty to deal with. These usually aren't so much a no, but a demand that the other person say yes. These mean cards are bullying attempts to get the other person to play a negative nice card in return. So these are things like watch me take credit for your idea in the meeting, watch me take credit for your idea in the meeting, give me attention or I make a scene. I won't do chores. That's your job. I don't care. You need it. I need it now. I'm in charge of everything and you'll do what I say. Express your loyalty to me right now or I'll leave you. Putting aside the question of positive or negative for the moment, turn the page and we'll see how the nice cards and mean cards battle each other. Remembering that the key to everything is the nice card is agreeable and the mean card is disagreeable. Putting aside the question of positive or negative for the moment, turn the page and we'll see how the nice cards and mean cards battle each other. Remembering that the key to everything is the nice card is agreeable and the mean card is disagreeable. So if you happen to be watching this on replay, and God bless you if you've made it to minute 43, the positive and negative thing is really, really important. Because I think people can clearly see there are ways that people are nice and there are ways that people can be mean. And if you're basically a person that's struggling with being too nice, that's a fundamental misunderstanding of not realizing sometimes when you are nice, you're doing it with a really, really negative mindset. And sometimes when you are mean or should be mean or could be mean, that can actually come from a really positive place where it's super important to do. Alrighty. On to chapter 4. Let me have a couple of pieces of pasta. This was really nice. I'm going to do this again. So I'm going to do chapter 4. I think I'm done. We're done for the evening. Four. Hold on, I'll do chapter 4 and 5. 5 is really short. Chapter 4: Who cooks dinner? Imagine a couple, both of whom have jobs, coming home at the end of the day, faced with the daily question of who cooks dinner. Both of them choose between playing a nice card or a mean card. They can be agreeable or disagreeable with each other. Some nice card examples. Yes, I'll cook dinner. Yes, I'll help you cook dinner. Yes, it's my turn to cook dinner. I'll just start cooking dinner because I'm worried what happens if I don't. Whoa, you look exhausted. Let me cook dinner. I can't stand how bad you cook, so I'll just do it. Mean card examples. No, you cook dinner. No, I'm tired even though it's my turn to cook dinner. No, you're much better at cooking dinner than I am. No, that's not my job, it's yours. I come home, there's no dinner. What do you do all day? I've cooked dinner every day this week. I'm not cooking tonight. If both play either a nice card or a mean card, there are four possible outcomes over this one issue. Him nice, her nice. This is all very pleasant and sociable. They could take turns cooking or cook together, hanging out and having fun in the kitchen. It's all smiles and appreciation. They both say thank you when the other cooks. Note that how the dinner gets cooked isn't important. It's that both were happy and content with whatever happened. Note that how dinner gets cooked isn't important. It's that both were happy and content with whatever happened. Both feel each other was pleasant about it. Him nice, her mean. No matter the conversation path, this always ends up with him cooking the dinner and her getting to relax and do whatever she wants. He gets the chore, she gets the free time. Or him mean, her nice. This plays out the same as the above. Whatever the couple's interactions are, somehow it ends up with her in the kitchen and him doing whatever he wants to do. She works, he gets task avoidance. Him mean, her mean. This turns into an ugly stalemate situation. Him mean, her mean. This turns into an ugly stalemate situation with the possibility of a fight thrown in the mix too. More likely than not, no one cooks dinner or they prep their own food separately, foraging for leftovers or snacks instead of giving up their mean card. It's long. More likely than not, no one cooks dinner. More likely than not, no one cooks dinner or they prep their own food separately. More likely than not, no one cooks dinner. Maybe it stays. More likely than not, no one cooks dinner. Mm-hmm. More likely than not, no one cooks dinner. Or they prep their own food separately, foraging for leftovers or snacks instead of giving up their mean card. It's long, but I don't understand it. Importantly, both end up disliking the other a little more as a result. In terms of any one given night, it doesn't really matter who cooked dinner, but who cooks dinner plays out thousands of times in a long-term relationship. If one person is too nice and always plays the nice card, the other learns they don't always have to play a nice card back. Slowly but surely, the situation drifts to one person doing all the cooking. I suspect that exact scenario sounds familiar to some of you reading, and let me guess, you tried to break out of it a few times. You played a mean card refusing to cook dinner, and the double mean card scenario felt so horrible you folded. Switched, that's long. You played a mean card refusing to cook dinner, and the double mean card scenario felt so horrible you folded. Take out the whole you folded. It felt so horrible. You switch back to night. You played a mean card refusing. Take out the dinner. Take out a mean card refusing to cook. Played a mean card. You refused. You refused to cook. Refused. Spell refused. You refused to cook, and the double mean card scenario felt so horrible. You switched back to a nice card and just cooked dinner anyway. Which means you didn't really play a mean card. You bluffed you were going to play a mean card, but that's as far as it went. It ended with them calming down watching TV and you chopping onions and grilling up some nice cod for dinner. It ended with them calming down. It ended with them watching TV while you chopped onions. It ended with them watching TV while you chopped onions and grilled up some nice cod. Ended with them watching TV while you chopped onions and served nice cod for dinner. Let's dig a little deeper and show why that happens. Imagine the wife of the couple simply has no mean card to play. For whatever reason, she is only capable of playing a nice card. The four outcomes now look like this. And if you are watching the replay of this, this is the engine. This is like if this is what's happening inside the cylinders of the engine. This is how spark plugs on the cylinders work. This is the core of everything on this book. So she has no nice card to play. No, she has no mean card to play. For whatever reason, she is only capable of playing a nice card. The four outcomes now look like this. Him nice, her nice. It's all very pleasant and sociable. Maybe they take turns. Maybe they cook together, hanging out and having fun in the kitchen. It's all smiles and appreciation. Him nice, her mean. Non applicable. She has no mean card. Him mean, her nice. Whatever the couple's interactions are, somehow it ends with her in the kitchen and him doing whatever he wants to do. She works, he gets task avoidance. Him mean, her mean, not applicable. She has no mean card. So as you can see, if she only has a nice card, two of the outcomes vanish. It's either a pleasant evening together or she does the chores while he gets free time to do what he wants. On the nights where it's him nice, her nice, she feels happy and plays a nice card. On the nights where it's him mean, her nice, she feels unhappy about it, but plays her nice card anyway. Her feelings don't matter because either way, she acts exactly like he wants her to. I'm going to go back in italics the feels. Well, on the nights where it's him nice, her nice, she feels happy. And I lost my italics here, so let's home. It completely vanished, didn't it? There we go. Her nice, she feels happy and plays a nice card. On the nights where it's him mean, her nice, she feels unhappy about it, but plays her nice card anyway. Her feelings don't matter because either way she acts exactly like he wants her to. This scenario will play out month after month, and the husband will eventually realize she has no mean card to play. As most of you know from your experiences, when someone else, as most of you know from your own experience, as most of you know from your own experiences, when someone realizes you're going to, as most of you know, as most of you know from experience, as most of you know from experience, if when someone realizes they're going to be nice, As most of you know from experience, when someone realizes you're going to be nice all the time, no matter what, when someone if they, as most of you know from experience, if they realize you're going to be nice all the time, if they realize you're going to be nice all the time no matter what, then you're defenseless. You're totally defenseless. They can play a mean card on you whenever they want to. They have the choice of being agreeable one day and the next be as unpleasant and disagreeable as they like. And just to be clear here, the entire scenario does happen when a husband only has a nice card to play. Just like the too nice wife trains her husband to take advantage of her, the too nice husband trains his wife the same way. I've talked to many men who race home after work to make dinner for their stay-at-home mother wife, dreading the fallout if they don't. It doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, if you have no mean card to play, you're teaching your partner to take you for granted. All right. Alrighty. Yeah, I think I'm good there. Chapter 5. Alrighty, so getting a little tired. It's hard to pay attention with this form of editing for too long. So that was the live stream for today. Going to be still here week after, night after night, Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Central. If you have questions for me, please send them in. You can either do it in the chat or you can send them to me at AskAtholAnything@gmail.com, and I will be completely happy to answer anything that you have to ask me. And if no one's asking questions, I'm just going to keep doing the read aloud editing, polishing up the book for the final draft. And that's about it. Hope to catch you next time. Bye.